Hello. Wait, we need to fix this. This needs to be a new thing. Sorry, change the title of this. Drawing. Yes. Yes, this is art tips. I don't know if the resolution is good or if the actual thing is working, but whoop. Expected video resolution. You know, it doesn't matter what my resolution is. You know, you can get out of here. Are you guys here though? Can you hear me? Hello. Woo. Do I need to like do pucker noises or something? I don't know. Just gonna get you guys here. Alright, hello. Everyone's here. Good. Alright. So the gang's all here. We're gonna go through smart tips, tricks, all these different things. Although you've probably seen billions on billions of YouTubers already do this sort of thing already. They've, told you all the tips for arts and things like that. I don't know what image I have on here. I don't have an image. Yeah, let's get an image to go along the bottom bits of this. Hold on. Browse. Go to downloads. I know it's probably in recent though, is it? Gotta find it. Give me a sec. Oh, hello. Cactus and Angel. That sounds so cool. Gang. Very awesome. So if I can find this image, I'll be happy with myself. There it is. There's the bad boy right here. Oh, it's a better resolution than my screen is. Yeah. Great. We'll put this. There we go. Actually, hold on. I have a better idea. We can do this. Can I move this forward a bit? Thank you. Order. Move up. Oh, it's not. Move to the top. Blah. Haha. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at that beans, alright? Look at that. Hey, we've got a little dude here. That's so great. Okay. Here, let's transform it though. Edit transform. Don't know if I can stretch it without making it bigger. We'll stretch it as much as we can without having to actually make it bigger. Perfect. That's fine. I've been spending 5 minutes doing this. So, art tips. Softwares, you've probably heard this from everyone. Softwares really don't matter. The only softwares that you need are something to work with. So, basically, it's a skill. It's a skill level. If you are truly passionate enough about art, if you're truly passionate enough about art, then you'll use every single resource that you can. That includes MS Paint, Photoshop, Krita, all that jazz. Because those softwares are what makes you more... excuse me. They're what makes you more, able to use different things. And, become more adaptable of the world around you. Because, if you're not adapting, to different softwares, what are you doing? But yeah, so I don't know what you guys are having troubles with, or anything like that. But we're going to put up a straw poll for it because I love doing those. Straw poll is my favourite. So, pull up a straw poll. I'm just gonna pop it down here. Just move in front. It's actually up. And I can't zoom in. So, what do you struggle with? I misspelled struggle. Struggle with art. There we go. First poll option is going to be anatomy, which I think everyone does. I think we're going to do most. Struggle most with art. Anatomy is one of them. Perspective. I can't really speak on perspective that well either. I'm not that good of a perspective drawer, but we can go over it together and we can learn. We could figure out the ways of how to do this. Next one I think is going to be I don't know, hold on, I need to actually turn it into live chat so I can see everything you're saying. Nobody has commented anything so far, so that wasn't my imagination. Alright, next bit is going to be what else do people have trouble with? Anatomy, perspective, colours. Okay. No, I didn't mean to. Alright, here. Hold on, gotta do it again. Good. Okay, we're just gonna do a nat. Oh no, stop it. I didn't mean to hit enter that time first. Okay. I'm so glad that Billie Eilish has that Adobe thing. That's the only way I can do this, is because Billie Eilish has her freaking thingy with Adobe where students save money on paying for it. Perspective, colours, what else? Another one is process. Process is very important as well. And the design processes too, but well, I'll count the process. Getting motivation. That's kind of, I don't know how I could help you, but I could give some tips on that. And finding inspiration. That's a good one too. So, if any of you are actually here, I'm going to allow multiple poll answers because, you know, it's not fun otherwise. I'm going to share this to you. You lot go take this and drawing different poses. I can only ever attempt to draw like 3/4 profiles. Me too. Here you go. This is the poll right here. You lot go vote. Go vote for what you want. I'll see what you need. What you want. What you need. Anything like that, I don't mind. But Pinterest is also a very cool tool for that stuff as well. But name of my Pinterest boards over here, because I made a Pinterest board for one of my OCs, and it's really epic. Because those can really help you get into your character. Okay, the couple people who are watching, they want anatomy and perspective and colours and inspiration afterwards. Good. Gucci. That's really Gucci. So yeah, we'll work on that first, I guess. There's this amazing video that I think I'm gonna put the link in the chat right here, if I can find the blank thing itself. But it's a great video that this guy, I forgot what his name is, Mitch Leroux. Basically, it sums up what anatomy is all in like one video, and it's how to do anatomy, how to get better at your anatomy. It's amazing. This is actually a really great thing to use if you are in need of some anatomy help right there. That's a great one to use. I'm actually going to put anatomy help above that, so that way. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, this guy, he is a real ace and a half. And so you really need to check out his stuff that he makes as well, because it's really good. So yeah, here we go. We're back on our beautiful little screen. Very good. Very good. I like my screen. Where'd my menu bar go? Menu bar. Balls. My menu bar's gone. Hold on. Menu bar, where are you? Hold on a second. I have to find it. There it is. You was down there the whole time, weren't you? Alright. Get back over here, you scoundrel. Okay, fine. I guess it's not going to. Oh, yay! We did it! It's good now. We just gotta make sure we don't move all the way down here and bring it back down. So, welcome to the art tips. My name's 2D. Basically what we want to do is you want to start with a circle. Circles are really important. If you don't have circles, you won't have eyes. Because your eyes are circles. Basically, you take your circle. That's really awesome. You take your circle, and usually it just helps to just look at a circle sometimes. Because looking at a circle can be half a battle. If you don't just look at the circle, then you're not going to be able to figure out what you need to do. Sketching is also a really great thing. For sketching, what you do is that you just kind of let your mind go empty, and you just kind of, you take what shape you're trying to develop, and you basically develop it more than it is already. So, say that I want to draw a picture of Murdoch or something. I can just do this, go at a little bit more of a different angle than 3/4. I mean, this isn't 3/4 view. Is it? That's probably 3/4. Hold on. We'll do that. That's like on the edge of being 3/4, but also really, really far away. So basically what you do is you sketch out your head shapes. You line up your bits. And I spend way too much time doing this stuff and I'll mess up on the rest of it. But that is my fault, my problem only. But then you take that and you kind of just, you know, you sketch it out, you learn. And anatomy is a really hard thing to learn though as well. I forgot that's what I was doing. Anatomy. So there's many different resources to help you with your anatomy stuff, how to learn how to draw people, etc. Stuff like that. Basically, Pinterest is a great thing. Pinterest, I can't say it enough. Pinterest. You go on Pinterest. What is it? Is it like that? You go on Pinterest and you look up character design reference or pose reference or something like that, and each one of those videos will give you, or not videos, or photos will give you a certain shape or character in a base, basically, which is going to have like the arms interconnected like this, and it's really amazing. And it really helps because it gives you an idea of what you want your art to look like without making it look really, you know. And what you shouldn't do is that basically you shouldn't go over and trace over the base, because if you trace over the base then you're left to try to figure out how to draw the rest. References are your friends. And basically the thing about it is that with me, for the longest time, especially right now, I have been in a funk, because when I was a kid I used to trace stuff. I used to go over, I used to get some wax paper and I used to trace over it instead of actually sitting there and working out myself. And when you don't sit there and work out yourself, you lose a little bit of the benefactor of actually figuring out how to draw. Figuring out how to draw isn't just, you know, one and done, getting the final product. It's sitting there and going through the process and being happy with what you make. And if you don't sit there with the process, then you can't really, you know, be happy with what you're doing. It's not going to look good either. So imagine if I took let me put up a good example. This would give me the yawns. So I'll go to Pinterest. Let me go look up one of my reference images that I use. Pose references. Which one should I use for this? Alright. That one looks good. So we'll grab this one. Well, that is a good thing to do for traditional art because it makes you confident in your line work. Now that's a different story because being confident in your line work basically means that you go and follow through. But tracing doesn't really help you in this situation. Say that I want to draw this position right here. If I traced it, then I wouldn't be able to add the details that I like to make it look good. But I forgot I was on that layer. Pause. Hold on. Get out of here. Anatomy. So basically, if I went and I broke it down into the bits that I needed. Oh god, this is a disaster. If I break it down into the bits I need, like boom, torso, that's a very important place. And you also have to measure out shoulders and where you want the shoulders to be. And the torso actually extends out to here with the ribs. And then basically this area, and then the legs. If you map it out mentally and you get in the habit of doing this, then when it comes around to having to make your own sketch, you won't be so, yellow bellied to it. Your brain's not going to be like, what do I have to do? You'll know it to do already. And that's really what it's all about. But line confidence is a really great thing because line confidence really is important when you're doing artwork. Say that I have a pencil and I'm sketching something and I'm like, ooh, this looks kind of good. And then, I mess up on some part and I'm like, oh, I can just erase it. But with a pen, basically what it makes you do is it makes you work around the part that you messed up. And so say that I'll work around this part I messed up, I'll turn that into maybe a sideburn. I was looking for the word. A sideburn. I'll turn that into a sideburn, turn this into a mouth, turn this into a really upturned nose. Maybe make the dude like really mad that he's there or something, or surprised. And then we can add and run with it. Basically taking what our mistake was and going along with it. And that's why it's really important to do that as well, sketch around with the pen in Now, a great artist, more creative, Mr. Jamie Hewlett. Jamie Hewlett, the thing about him is that he's gotten so used to sketching his characters that he can just whip up a sketch with no template lines. Now, that doesn't mean that you can do that. A great thing to do is to always keep your circles and always, draw properly. He draws with these clean sketch lines, but that's only because he's probably wasted sketchbooks over sketchbooks, just drawing the same thing and drawing the head shapes of these characters and, basically learning and getting down the hand motions to be able to draw certain things. And that's very important, is muscle memory and how your brain cognitively thinks about it is really important for basically making art. That's how it works. So, I don't know, I think that's right. And it's really important to do that because if you learn how to do that, then you'll be like peachy for the rest of, your art career days. And art doesn't have to be a career. It can just be something that you like to do. And if you want it to be a career, then go for it. Keep it at. Enjoy it. And don't just sit there and get bored of it after a while. Let yourself think and sketch and enjoy doing things like this. That's the only tip I think I can really give for art and the whole art scene itself. And then if you don't like a bit, fix it. That's the best way to. That's why we have an eraser. Somebody thought, oh man, I keep misspelling words with my pen. And so what they did was that they invented an eraser, and so they just erase. And now it's gotten us to the point, the peak of humanity, where we can just erase what we need or what we don't need and keep what we need, and it'll all stay together in a sense. It's really awesome, honestly. I think it's amazing how amazing it is, it's good. But Anatomy simply is looking at things and breaking them down into shapes. So say that I wanted to break something down and do a shape for a face. Basically, I'd start with a circle. I would use that circle, make different things with it, you know, etc, etc. So let me show you an example. So step one, we're just going to use probably red. Red is going to be the base. I know, we'll change it to blue. Blue's a little bit nicer of a colour, isn't it? So blue is our base. So line of action. Nobody talks about line of action, but it's really important for beginners, for people who don't really know how to the whole thing is that nobody can draw a straight line. If I could draw a straight line, I would. See? Boom. It's not a straight line, that was a curved line. It had curves in it. The whole point is that nobody can draw a curved line or a straight line. It's your mentality behind it. You have to be willing to learn and accept how to figure out how to learn and figure out how to do art. And that's really what makes a difference between someone who wants to achieve their goals and someone who doesn't. Someone who wants to achieve their goals, they're going to do anything it takes to be able to do it. But somebody who doesn't, they're basically not going to do anything at all for it. So this is our base bit right here. I don't like it. I don't have to like it. I can erase some bits that I see as problems already, save myself a little bit of time. But basically, your blue sketch doesn't have to be that much, because this is your rough sketch. Next one. Shoot, my dog came back onto my screen again. I did not notice that this whole time. Oi! There we go. So you add a new layer, and now you can get your red. And now red is basically it's flesh. That's why I use red. It's because red is basically taking these lines that you had, which were the simplistic kind of form of shapes, and turning them into shapes. Now, going off of your mental memory, if you have drawn enough, then you'll know where everything is and how things are supposed to look. Now for me, I haven't drawn something in this exact pose before, so I could look up a reference if I wanted to, and I probably might once I get something down. But for right now, I think I'm feeling confident with this so far. And the best thing that makes an artist is their mental state. If they mentally feel like that they can do it, then kudos, they can do it. But if they don't, then you know, it's all about what your mentality is when you're trying to do something. So fleshing it out is how you do it. And yeah, hold on a second. So the next bit that you need to think about is muscles, veins, blood, how the body works in general if you're drawing people. Not one part of our body is completely stiff at one point in time, except our bones maybe. But even then our bones are constantly moving around and displacing. So a great way to think about this is to think of, I don't know actually, hold on. Let me think of something. Basically, think of bones and shapes as, you know, different things. The blue is the bone, the red is the shapes. And I forgot where I was going actually, it's making me a little bit mad. But what's really important about this is that you get down what you need as well, and what you're thinking, and you get it done in such a way to where it will help you in the future of whatever you're trying to draw. Now for me, I'm not good at doing the rest of the legs. I can do up to the thighs. Legs though, they're basically just really kind of simple. They have multiple tutorials on the internet on how to do it. It's basically a shifting of balance and of weight at the same times. So let me show you an example right here. You go up and say that this is where the thigh starts, right? The thigh, it's basically what it is that it goes around like that, and then the calf comes out and around like that, and then you got your knee right there, and then boom, foot. It's a foot. Now the thing about these foots is that they have to have a balance of weight, and they have to basically flow the same way. It's the same deal with arms and with all these other limbs in the body. It's that they go straight out when they are being faced from the front. From the side, some people even draw the legs like this, and that's just not right. Legs don't work like a staircase. They are balanced and they have muscles as well. So you have this bit of muscle right here that works in conjunction with this. You have this that works in conjunction with that. If you get it all down and together, then you have a proper leg, and it has a nice balance of both weight on both sides. Now that's very important, especially if you are trying to draw legs. But it's when you get into the different angles that people get confused and concerned. But really, it's all about just taking that displacement and carrying it through, figuring out where you were displacing weight in the top of the leg and putting it towards the bottom of the leg. Because these legs, they look like they're being turned inwards, even though this character has their legs facing this way. So a great way to fix that would be to work on this, displace the weight back this way towards the calves. Actually, it'd be, hold on. See, I told you I'm not that great at all this stuff. I'm just a bloody voice actor. So you just, you do that, and it's not the greatest looking legs, but they look alright, and that's really great when you are doing art as well, because moderately okay is probably okay for a sketch. That's what people should be saying, and shouldn't be put it all in for a sketch, because if you put it all in for a sketch, then you get yourself a load of trouble. But that's basically the philosophy of life, isn't it? It's don't put all your eggs in one basket. And if you do, make sure you have a good basket. And it's also really important because any sort of art, you have to think about the way that the muscles and the body interact with each other, and how you can make it illustrate what it's supposed to look like. This doesn't look that good, only because I accidentally misplaced the weight for this, and so it looks like the arm's broken a smidge. So what we can do is add some more weight to the bottom and balance it out a smidge, and boom, there we go. We have a little bit better of a build for that arm. Now this other arm, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I might do the same thing, but on the other side. So we do the same thing, displace the weight, put the joint, and displace the weight again, and keep it going like that. And that's the best way that I can think, or that I know how, on how to keep your anatomy in check when you are drawing something. It's basically just making sure that you observe what you're trying to draw, observe how you want to draw it, and keeping your eye on the prize. If you dilly-dally too much, then you get sidetracked, and you lose focus of what you're trying to do. It's all about keeping your brain fresh on what you need to do. So we lower the opacity of this. And line art is another crazy thing. Line art is really, really difficult to learn because people don't know how to properly do it. They don't know if I'm doing line art correct or not, or anything like that. But line art, really, it's a hard thing to do, but at the same time, it's something that once you get it down, you can't really lose it at the same time. Line art is basically just taking something. So where's my ink pen at? There it is. I need to always fix this. The opacity is always on. I hate it. I need to really turn off that. It needs to not lock and keep it off. There, because your opacity when you're lining something, unless you're a great artist and you know how to keep your opacity in check and make it look good, then otherwise you are kind of just in a whole load of trouble. So a great way to start lining is to basically just start. Think of line weight and think of where basically things are being displaced in your picture. Where there's more light, add more dark. Where there's more dark, add more weight to your pencil. Drop it down a smidge and press down when you draw on that line. But say it's something lighter, keep your lines a little bit lighter. Make it a smooth progression into something lighter like that. There's this amazing artist on Instagram that I could refer you guys to, that they really are helpful with learning how to line properly. And line weight is very important. It's basically one of the... If you had to go away with something and be the only thing that you learn, a great thing to learn is line weight, because line weight can make or break a picture. If I drew this and I kept my line weight completely the same all the time, it would look very dead inside. It would look like a chicken wing or something. But if I use my line weight and I change it up a smidge and I just, basically let it flow and practice, then it doesn't look like a chicken leg anymore. It looks like something a little bit more defined, something with a little bit more weight to it. That's very important. That's one of the most important things I think I can tell you about art and about learning how to do art properly is line weight. If you're working on the computer, it's really simple. Just pressure sensitivity, all these things. If you're working with the mouse and you're drawing, basically you have no line weight. So make what you're trying to draw with it count. Make something good with the mouse. But for me, I enjoy the line weights. And if you use a big enough line weight and you can basically just kind of, you press down for big thick bits and keep it light for other bits, which is great. It's great for figuring out what you need to do and how you need to do it and everything like that. So I think that's been a good help. Oh, I need to do something that I forgot even for this picture. Balance. Always remember how your character is standing and how you want them to stand. Make sure your character isn't shifted towards one direction or the other, because directional shifting adds looseness into your character and it makes them less more like a character. So a great way to think about this is run a line down the middle or flip the canvas, do something like that, and if your character doesn't fit on that line right in the way that you like, in a balanced way, then you need to adjust your picture a smidge. But if your character fits on it moderately okay, then you're all peachy and everything. But that is, I think, most of the tips I could do right now. I don't know. Is there anything else that you guys have trouble with? I'm taking requests now. Anybody got any questions? Now this really is a messy sketch. It's really stiff, it doesn't look fluid, it doesn't look anything like that, but that's because I didn't properly sketch it out. A great thing to do is to go to a website that will teach you gesture drawings, how to do stuff, and one good one to use is lineofaction.com. Basically on lineofaction.com, what it'll give you is it'll give you references and lines, and it'll tell you basically to draw this in this amount of time. And what you do is you take what you're trying to draw, and for me, I'm gonna minimize this real quick. You take what you're trying to draw and you just kind of like, it's like when you're reading something and you don't really want to be reading it, you just, you know, kind of skim. Well, sketching it out and doing gesture drawings are kind of the skimming of the art world. All you have to do is basically keep the weight proper and basically make sure that it looks right. It doesn't look right if you don't keep the weight proper on the hips and the backbone. The spine in the, no, not the hips. The hips, back and the spine are the most important things. Your arms can't really move around that much. They can only go in a plane of maybe this, forward and backwards. But your hips can go about like in a bowl kind of almost with directions. So if you can get those directions, that's kind of cool. But if you can get those directions down when you're sketching something, then you'll be Gucci. And lineofaction.com, it gives you a picture and you can set yourself a time frame and sketch it out. And for me, I usually do it really fast because I'll sit there and dwell on too many things. Like, see, I dwelled on drawing this head and I meant to draw a body to it. You know, it's stupid. It's basically just, if you have like OCD with your arts, then that really helps to kind of break you away from it as well. Basically draw shapes, draw the lines attached to the shapes, make sure you keep the shapes nice and fresh, you know, kind of make sure that you have a vague understanding of what it's supposed to look like. And it's really great to do that because it keeps your brain concentrated and it keeps it well oiled with how to see stuff in the real world with positions and anatomy and all that. And that I don't know what else to say. So I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. Oh, good. That's better. Okay. Woo. But yeah, that's probably all the art tips I can give you at the moment. Except keep at it. Keep at it is also a really great art tip. You'll never learn how to get better if you don't keep your work ethic high and your motivation up. And I think that's it. Is that all I can give you guys? I really hope not. I'm sure I can do something else. I can teach you facial stuff, but that's difficult to learn. It's how to basically, you know, do all that stuff. That's the only reason I don't do that. But I am going to show you something really epic, really amazing. I have to move everything over to the other screen first. So give me a little second right here. So, let's change up what screen this is mapped to. Let's change it to display 1. That's it. Okay. So, it's not coming over here, so I guess we have to go over there to it. Okay. So this was something that I did earlier today. This is basically, it was a warm-up that I started and I finished it through completely. As you can see, the line art, line weight, all that different jazz is in there, and it's moderately okay. I spent about 2 hours on it. I rushed every single step. So let's look at some more things. We are going to go this is a drawing I did a minute ago with basically somebody said turn Mike Wazowski into a cyborg, and so I turned Mike Wazowski into a cyborg, and I inverted his colours too because that's cool, isn't it? Another thing that I did is that I went and drew. Oh, where is it? There's got to be another one on here somewhere. Something else I've done. I think I'm going to sort it by images. So that's a Photoshop file, MP3 file, Photoshop, MP3, PNG, Photoshop. Where do all my pictures go when I finish drawing them? Yeah, hold on. So I did this a while back. This was May 9th. I did this picture right here. It's very nice. Only problem is that the anatomy is quite stiff. The hand is a little bit fake. It doesn't look real. And this bit right here, I need to basically puff it out a smidge. And that's some common criticism on me, is that basically I make my stuff look too stiff, and that's my problem. But yeah, I don't know what else to make a live stream about anymore. So thank you all for watching. See you later.